What's going on, guys? You see what it is, man. You saw that thumbnail. We got a verses I've been excited about for a while. I got this maybe about a month ago, and I've just been waiting to make this video. Been busy. Before we go any further, hit that notification bell. Make sure you like, subscribe, go into that comment section, man, because we got Mafex Batman versus CT Toys Batman. Of course, you see this is the black and gray. I don't have the black and gray Mafex one. That's going for a pretty penny. But when they re-released the blue and gray, I had to have it. And now I don't for a second believe the CT Toys made a better figure than the Hush Batman. But for price point, we're talking about a figure that's around $100 figure versus a figure that's like, 25 to $30. Is this figure is this figure about $60 better than this one? That is the question we're talking about here. Okay. So first things first, let's take a look at these boxes, man. I'm gonna put you to the side, had him for a while, so he's unboxed. Now, here we go. Now, it's not a true comparison because I don't have the Hush black and gray Batman, but I will show you some images in a second of the Mafex box. But already, well, first things first, I got mine from AliExpress, and let's just say this box came back crazy. And, I've seen most people talk about who cares as long as the figure is okay, because who's really going to be an inbox collector when you have bootlegs? Fair enough. Fair enough. It's still a nice box. I think they did a great job on the lettering. But as you can see, it doesn't say, if you can see right here, it doesn't say Hush and it doesn't say Batman. It's by mine and Ayush. I ush. They now they put Hush on this side, but there's no T in front of the Batman. And here, still by man Hush. Number 126. The black and gray is 126, but I don't believe they're actually numbering their CT toys. I think they just made it to mirror it. But I have to say, the boxes look pretty identical. I think the artwork is much crisper on the Mafex box. Right? The CT Toys looks a little bit more like a copy. No, it's better than like a copy, like a photocopier. But the artwork here is much crisper. You can see right here. Now here's some images of the actual Hush box. And I have to say, CT Toys did a great job of recreating that look, as you can see right here. They did a good job. As far as the quality of the box, they're the same. They're about the same. Both feel the same. Of course, there's no DC logos. All right, let's get this guy open. Now, I'm curious, as you can see inside, there is some Jim Lee artwork. Now, I don't know if that's the case on the regular Mafex black and gray suit Batman. Let's just see all that out. And no, just a black background or gray background. But that might be how it was. Let me know in the comments section. So as far as packaging is concerned, I would say, yeah, one for one. I blame AliExpress's shipping for how this came. I don't blame the makers of CC Toys for that. Um, and here is the figure right here. Very similar to how we get Mafex. There's just multiple compartments. Uh, let's just piece and take out this part first. Now this is pretty cool and sculpted really well. I don't have a comparison for this, but it's pretty dope. I will be using this for both figures. Spell test. You know, with bootlegs is always the concern of like toxic paints or plastics and no crazy scent on this one. So I'm gonna put this right here to the side. And this is how the Mafex one came. And as you can see, the black back. Now this is definitely different. I don't know where my Batman one is, but I did just open my Mafex Daredevil, and they're pretty much the same. So yeah, I would say there's not much to this figure stand versus where are you? This one where you just get, very different. Practically practicality, I don't know, but I will say like this is thicker than this stand. I don't know if that means it's more durable or not. I'm only gonna know through time, but it bends well and say it's about the same height. And you get kind of these guys right here. I will say, yeah, you get more pieces to make this hook. Maybe this is how the black and gray came, but I know that with the Mafex, you just get more options when it comes to the stand, as you can see. So definitely the stand with the Mafex is way more superior. Way more superior. Piece to the side. All right, so let's compare accessories. They both have the same amount of hands and looks like the same amount of accessories, except for the Bruce Wayne head sculpt. So let's get this open. Ooh. So I'm going to show the figures last. I'm just going to go through the accessories. I promise I won't take too long. So already with the Mafex, they put tape over here so it doesn't fall out. There was tape over this one too. Here, you just kind of like on your own, as you can see. Let's take a look at the Batman head sculpts. I'm so curious because we're talking about possibly a $60 difference. And let's focus this baby. CT Toys did a great job on that. There is a slight difference in the sculpt. Sorry. Where the mouth looks a little bit just slightly different. The paint is a little different. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to, I need to get this in closer, but I need to focus. I need to focus this. I need to turn the light up. Sorry. but they both feel the same. Smell test smells regular. I would say definitely the skin tone on the Mafex is better. This is much paler. And I would say the paint application around the mouth and teeth is better. And I like, and you can see the way the sculpt is with the mouth. It's just a little bit more scrunched up on the CT toys when the Mafex is longer. And where you can see here, it's just much cleaner. Or in the CT toys, you see just a little bit more of the, the paint and the plastic. It's just not as clean. But that's if you're like, nitpicking, what you should do with $100 figure. But for like 30 bucks, 32 bucks, that is not too bad. Not bad. Not bad. Let's take a look at the grappling hook. So I definitely would say the Mafex is sculpted better. This is kind of wonky. Definitely softer and flimsier. This is just as soft. I think the sculpt is just tighter. CT Toys looks a little bit more warped. You can see that right there. Metal rods are about the same though. Okay. Definitely a difference. I don't know how it was on the black, but we get these on a lot of the Mafexes and we don't get that here. Not a big deal. And I'm not sure exactly if that's how it was, but the launchers. So off the bat, you can see the paint application on the Mafex is way better. It's just more metallic. And I want to say this slight paint to make it look engraved where this one doesn't have it. So yeah, just the details are just way better, but still not freaking bad. Not bad at all. I'm sure it's the same thing with the other hand. I'm not going to go hand for hand. We just want to make sure that it is the same. Just less detail, less craftsmanship. Paint is a little not as great. Like, yeah, you see right there, that's this could be a QC issue on mine, but it's just some of the silver paints on his glove. It's not the case on this one. So Mayfix has some QC issues as well, but probably nothing like that. All right, let's take a look at these clawed hands. Let's just do one hand at a time. I'll double check the CT toys just to see if there's any QC issues, but these look pretty identical. Yeah. Again, the paint is slightly better on the Mafex, but I would say these are pretty identical. And they both feel the same. They don't feel doesn't feel like cheap plastic and Same, no QC issues. Uh, and then, I'm not going to compare all the hands. Just wanted to see the gadgety hands, but we can take a look at all the CT hands just to make sure they're not any weird things. All matte. Feels good. So you get the same amount of hands. I might have grabbed the wrong one. So, I would say so far, CT Toys is killing it. I mean, there are some issues, but like I said, it's a possible $60 price difference with these guys, you know? And then we have this piece right here, which again, there's just something slightly wonky about it, but not that deep. This is actually pretty freaking good. Like, I got to keep these separate because I will forget which one's which. Mafex is slightly better, but like not by that much. I don't even know if you can tell on screen. You got to really nitpick for this one. Good job. Okay, and then we have some batarangs. And this is where Mafex is just going to outshine them. Mafex, I don't know if you can tell here. Let me bring down the light a little bit. But this is where the Mafex it just looks much more metal. But I would say these are pretty identical. Yeah, those are pretty identical. How many batarangs do we even get? So these are the CT toys. So yeah, like this is much smoother. And this, if you can see, you probably can't. There's just the paint on it. It's just not as clean. But honestly, you're looking for those defects. They don't just stand out at you like that. But yo, those are the accessories, man. Let's uh let's check out the figure. Now, anybody who plays Mayfix, you know that Batman is, there's plastic wrapped in his joints to make sure there's no rubbing. And already, like, he's not coming that way. But I would say, bright. Here we go. So already out of the box, he feels good. He feels more gummy and like you hear that? The joints squeak a bit. And here we go. The bootleg versus the real one. $60, about almost $100, around 30 some dollars. I mean, at just first glance, you can't even tell the difference. Let's take a closer look. So the paint application, like I said on the other cowl, is better. We just got better paint. But this still isn't bad. I'm turning on the brightness. Still not bad. Now this belt is more yellow, but that might be just how the black and gray came. I don't know. But I would say its proportions are very similar. Okay. So already I can tell you. So in here we actually see the metal joint. You see, you see that. So that's a big deal. Like if that showed up on $100 figure, that'd be kind of whack. And even for a $30 figure, I don't want to see the metal in his joints like that. Um, in his knees. You see, I'm not mad at it, but yeah, but the articulation is good. It's definitely a squeaky guy. This feels a little stiff, actually. I don't want to break them. Mm. And the metal. Oh, there was like I just saw here. Oh, where'd it go? I was able to see the metal from the cape, but I'm not seeing it now. The capes feel similar. I feel like this one kind of has a little felt kind of. I don't know if it's felt. There's something about it that's giving it a texture, whereas this one kind of just feels all one. Doesn't feel. It feels. This one might feel a little thinner, but honestly, not that big of a difference. Um, and, Hush. Jim Lee gave us those treads on the bottom. So where you see here that WW is real pronounced in here, it's just sloppier, but barely, barely. It's almost like the materials they have are just about the same, and the construction is just about the same, but just the way it was put together, it just wasn't with as much loving care as the Mafex. But like it's all there. It's all there. If anything, I don't like how his comes down almost on the bed emblem, but that just might be mine. I like the way CT Toys is better, but that just might be mine. Guys, it's a good figure. It's a good figure. I mean, that's a little annoying, but like the sculpt and paint is clean. Like there's no spillage. I mean, Like, even let's say how the points kinda go off to the side a little bit, like, they both do that. The muscle definition, I mean, I this has better shading, but, I mean, the CT Toys isn't just flat gray either. Both feel the same. Try my light up a bit, cause man, I'm getting so much it's going out of focus way too much. And the belt does go up and down, and as does the Mafex, and you can see here the detail on the belts are kind of the same. Maybe the sculpting is slightly better on the Mafex, but it's about the same. And like I said, I don't like how this is right on the bat logo, but here it's not. It could just be mine. Let me know. Yeah, they look good, man. And this is just as articulate. It's just you might just get some of that squeaky, a little gummier, but feels just as good. I think Mafex might be a little heavier, but it doesn't feel like a cheap toy at all. Huh. Yo, real talk. The game might have changed. Now, listen, I'm not saying buy bootlegs at all. But what I am saying is you high end toy sellers might need to step your games up because I can't honestly tell you this is worth $60 more than this one. I would say this one is worth more, but $60 more? I can't even tell you that. Now, a big thing for me is what I'm going to use this for is because you just have this Bruce Wayne head sculpt sitting in a box. So I think what I'm going to use him primarily for is this Bruce Wayne head sculpt. Does it actually fit though? Not really. It doesn't want to stay on. Does it want to stay on this one without the change in neck? Yeah, this actually stays on. Where this one gets a slightly smaller. It doesn't. I mean, you can pose. You can have it on him like this, but yeah, he doesn't want to stay on. And this part doesn't want to come out easily. So just to keep in mind that you're not going to be able to really get this neck on here. You probably can if you want to do some work. I don't, but I'm cool with him just being like this. It's just another way to pose my my Bruce Wayne. It's pretty freaking dope. Okay, man. Uh Final verdict. I think I already said it. Well, first things first. Hold on. Hold on. It's all we got to make sure all these other pieces fit at least a little bit. So here's the other head. Goes on well. Let's go back to the traditional. Let's pop some hands out. Let's see if they all go in like they're supposed to. 'Cause that's a big thing too, right? It's not just about what it looks like. It's does it function the way it's supposed to? It does. It most definitely does. I do not like that sound. Yeah, and it's in there. It's not coming out. And yeah, so it's definitely playable for fun. Do they fit? Yeah, ish. And if you want to see how much of that ball peg shows, it's pretty even. Nothing's falling off. Head's not falling off. Arm ain't falling off. This sound now this worries me. Yeah. I don't like that. So yeah. So he's not gonna be as fun posing in this with the arms just because you just don't know if this thing's gonna pop off. But it is made pretty well. I got a Spider-Man bootleg that literally fell apart as I opened it years ago. So this is definitely a step up. Okay, I've talked your heads off. If you watch this whole video, you are freaking awesome. Thank you. Helps with the algorithm. I appreciate it. Uh, so CT Toys versus Hush Batman. Price point by price point. It's really hard to say CT Toys doesn't beat Mafex when it comes to what you get for the price. CT Toys has come. CT Toys is not playing. CT Toys, I said it, beats Hush Batman. Figure for figure, price versus price, for sure. Now, if you want a premium figure, this is not going to substitute and make you feel like you got a premium figure. Like I said, you can see the metal in the joints. The box is all jacked up. There's some paint QC issues on on some of the hands. You're not going to get that. But if you're looking for a really amazing Batman, this figure hits. Or if black and gray Batman is your favorite and you weren't able to get him, he will be the perfect stand-in to the Mayfix figures you already have. And you won't even miss a beat. You won't even miss a beat, as you can see, as you can freaking see. You're not gonna miss a beat. So, yo, CT came to play. Do I regret getting? I just got the Daredevil Mayfix figure for like $100 when CT Toys just dropped it. Do I regret getting it? No, because I love Daredevil. big Daredevil fan, and I do want that premium version. I don't want the metal joints in the elbows or the knees. So for choice, I went with something more premium. But if you're talking about a cool Batman on your shelf, CZ Toys kind of killed it. Anyway, I talked your heads off. Thank you so much. Let me know what you guys think in the CT Toys versus Mafex. Price point by price point. What do you think? Oh, yes. And nothing like this came in the CT Toys' box, which is weird. They're not even trying to pretend like it's real. Anyway, thank y'all so much for watching. It was a long video, but I hope I went through everything to help you make your informed decision. If you're just trying to get a Mafex and you're on eBay, you're waiting for the second release, or if you just go with CT Toys. I'm not advocating buying bootlegs. I'm not saying get a bootleg. I'm just giving you the information so you can figure out what you might want to do with your money. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching. We go live every Sunday at 4 o'clock Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Hit the notification bell, like, subscribe, and I'll see you same bad time. See you later.